myself Rishi Saraf. Currently, I'm working as a co-founder of a company called Dynamics. Prior to this, I have worked on the various tech product companies, almost 17 years of experience. Basically, just looking at your environment, looking at your friends, and you're deciding on your career, right? That okay, maybe this is the path I should also take, and I kind of plunged into computer science engineering. Started with my college. Now the college was definitely a fun day. I didn't study a lot during college days, but yeah, there were a lot of competitive students in that college, right? Like, and everyone had a career in their mind. Frankly speaking, even in the college, I didn't had any path in my mind that what I need to do. But because of my peers and friends, I kind of decided, okay, maybe these guys are trying to prepare for the MBA or prepare for the campus. I should also do it. In 5 years of my time in MDocs, somehow that feeling was there that though I was doing a good work, but I am not able to achieve my goals, right? I wanted to do something better, something more. And that's when I kind of decided that I have to switch and come to Bangalore. Why Bangalore? I could have switched and remain in Pune, but there were a couple of my friends in Bangalore. I saw the work culture here. Right? Like, it was a very different work culture than Pune, that's why I decided that okay, I want to come to Bangalore and join some company here. And finally, I got a job with British Telecom. As I believed, coming here was a life-changing moment for me, because Bangalore, in every aspect, is a very different city than any city in this country, right? Like, it's very advanced. Every nook and corner you go, every coffee shop, pawn shop you go, people are discussing technology, they are discussing startup, and it literally kind of opened my eyes. And at that point itself, I decided that I'm going to do a startup. I'm going to start a company.
What is your take, and what would be your suggestions to these people who are just starting? कुछ आपको सजेस्ट करना है कि कैसे उनको अप्रोच करना चाहिए, so that they can just try to align with their own goals and help.
I would just say that since you're just starting up, like, take it easy, right? Like, don't get too nervous or stressed about that, whether you know something, whether you know English, whether you know a certain language, whether you're able to interact or not able to interact, you're able to perform, not able to perform, right? Like, you still have a lot of time to learn. One thing, you just have to make sure that your desire to learn is always there, right? Like, you should make sure that whatever you don't know, you should be able to learn that, right? Like, you should be able to figure it out or navigate around that difficult situation. That's the main point, right? Like, that difficult parts will always be there, new places will be there, and since this is just the start of your kind of journey or the career, just take it easy, figure out things, make sure that basically you get comfortable with the space, make friends, right? Like, that is very important. Make friends, because these friends are going to be your lifetime friends. Whatever friends you make during the college days, they are the one of the best people in the world. So don't forget that. But at the same time, keep certain goal in mind, that okay, I want to achieve this, right? Like, by the end of the year, maybe I should learn XYZ things. At the end of the second year, I should be able to do this. Make some goals, and it's okay if you're not achieving that goal, but what goals will help you is basically choose certain path, right? Like, and go in that path and at least have some learning to make it possible to achieve that, right? Like, so making a goal is very important, and I think one of the reason for my successful career is that I always made certain goals for myself, right? Like, the long-term goals, that okay, maybe after 5 years of time or 4 years of time or 1 year of time, this is what I want.
This program, how we teach, how we convert these students to able professionals, क्योंकि at least just for the job per se, right? अगर किसी को सिर्फ इसके लिए लग रहा है कि मैं शायद MBA करूंगा तो ज्यादा पैसे मिलेंगे, या फिर मैं बाहर जाऊंगा तो ज्यादा पैसे मिलेंगे, that should not be the reason for them to take another pivot in their professional career, and that we want to ensure as a part of this program. This should be self-sufficient. You should be able to get the jobs in best of the companies and the globe just with the next 4 years that they do it. They don't have to actually look for GRE or GMAT. just for the sake of having more salary. तो ये हमारा एक guiding principle है, most on that we have tried to.
I think yeah, this is very right thing to do, because at our days, like when I was in college, we didn't had any person who can guide us, right? Like we were just looking. I mean, we were reading in a newspaper that okay, this IM guy got a 1 CR salary, or this person went to MS and got certain XYZ. And on the basis of that, we were making our decisions, right? Like we didn't had anyone who can tell us that okay, no boss, like you can make a good career in tech also. Also, that kind of salary is not everyone is not getting it, right? Like no one was there to share their story. And I think the way we are discussing right now, I'm able to share my story, and a lot of more people will come who will be able to kind of tell you how their career shaped up. I think you guys will learn that it's a very different journey for everyone. It's a very different experience for everyone, and that there is nothing bad or good about it. It's just about kind of what you are interested in, right? Like some people really think that they will be able to do better in MBA, they should do it. Some people think that they're good in coding, they should continue with their career with coding. And India have a lot of opportunity now, but there are folks who want to do MS, who want to study further, who want to do PhD, MS, and they should try to kind of follow that particular dream. So everyone will have a very different kind of experience. Just follow your heart, see what you want to do, and yeah, go about it.
I think all of us will have some challenges, right? There might be 100 reasons if you start counting. For example, आपको एक assignment मिला और आप उसको अगर नहीं करना चाहते हो ना रात में, you will find 100 reasons. मेरे रूम में 2 लोग थे, वो हल्ला कर रहे थे, इंटरनेट स्लो चल रहा था, रात में गर्मी ज़्यादा लग रही थी, मेरे को नींद ज़्यादा आ रहा था. You find always 100 reasons. Trust me, anytime you have to do something and you try to make some reason to justify yourself कि ये क्यों नहीं हुआ, you will find 100 reasons. For doing things, there is only one. And as Rishi was mentioning, I strongly, I just wanted to reiterate because that's how important this point is. There may be 100 problems in your life, right? But try to focus on the strength. You might have the weakness, right? तो उसके लिए आप रोते रहोगे, it might not work. So pick and take hold of your strength, and I believe that's how you say it. सबके life में challenges हैं. You, me, everyone who's sitting as a human, I think there's ups and downs. So it's very important for us to actually keep hold of your strength, play with your strength, and try to develop that. And the earlier point that you said, Rishi, have really remarkable communication skills. And I also strongly believe English jaruri nahi hai. You should be able to talk and communicate. The communication is important, right? If you have that confidence, you have that communication skill, I believe the language is just a support matter. Just in the world of software also, you have different types of programming language, right? Python है आपके पास, C++ है, Java है. All of that is used just to make sure that human is able to communicate to the computers, right? Same way, I believe on a higher note, for a better personality, for being a better professional, I believe communication is much more important. And just not knowing 1,000 words in English, right? It's just not English. So very aptly said, Rishi.
I mean, ultimately, you should be able to express yourself. That's it, right? Like सामने वाले को समझ में आना चाहिए what you're trying to say. That's it. It's more than enough.
ठीक है. अब थोड़ा इसको टेक्निकल करते हैं, है ना? So these students will be learning a lot in the classes, right? So learning tech in the classes and actually doing tech in that, the war rooms, how we call it. So IT is full of jargons, right? So you will hear very funny terms. For example, when I started, it was called as boot camp. Right. I thought it might be fun, but that was actually a coding session. Then there's something called as flush testing. It sounds a little weird when you hear a word called flush. And then again, it has a separate meaning. I'll tell you, my experience, my day one, I joined Oracle. And then my manager came and she told me, can you bounce the environment? Now, environment till now, I had only clue कि शायद ऑक्सीजन, नाइट्रोजन, हाइड्रोजन का जो हमारा सराउंडिंग है उसको environment कहते हैं, और bounce का मतलब होता है कि किसी बॉल को आप करो तो bounce हो जाएगा. I didn't had an idea what she was talking about. She told me bounce the environment and I was literally clueless. And her only intention was that there was a Linux box lying on my desk and she wanted me to restart it. So ऐसे कई सारे आपको lingos और jargons मिलेंगे when you start working for the IT sector. So for you, how different it is when you learn tech in the class and you actually go in the industry. How big is the difference?
मैंने तो I never studied in my class. So college was frankly, I had a lot of fun in my college days. So some like very good friends, and we used to bunk our classes. You guys should not do it. I'm not saying yeah, don't infer anything from that. But yeah, in our days, our focus was at least for first 2-3 years was that okay, we should be up to date on new movies and all the new novels than the technology. But as Vishwa said, it's a very different experience what you see in the college and when you actually join a organization. It's a very different feeling altogether, right? So one thing, and which again will be very helpful for you guys, will be is that when you join an organization, it's more about solving the problem than a technology, right? Because no one care whether you are using AI or Java or Node.js or basically PHP. Everyone want you to solve the customer problem, right? Like add certain value which customers can use. If you will start understanding the problem and then think about a solution on your mind, and then if you will do the coding, you will be able to do a much better job in terms of understanding the context, right? Like, and you'll be ready for the industry because that's what you are going to do there, right? You'll be given certain problem, you have to come up with the solution, and these problem will not be same as what you have studied in your books. There was a fear. I won't say that I was like fearless, and I always thought that okay, it doesn't matter, and I'll take a plan. And actually, that is the reason it took time, right? Like that, because of that fear, I could have left my job much earlier, but I always thought that no, maybe this is not the right time. I don't have enough money. I don't have like enough backing and XYZ. But at some point of time you have to cross that particular stage, and as I was telling before, that you have to have a belief, and that's the one thing that definitely a belief have to be there, to cross that particular fear. Other thing is that support, right? Like you need a support from your family, from your friends, right? So in my case, that was a good thing that I had a support, right? Like my father always said that okay, do whatever you want to do, always remember I am there behind you. Okay, so that kind of backing was very important to take this decision. Not everyone get that opportunity, but as I said before, that basically failures and the risk are the part of the life, right? Like you will fail, but that will make you stronger, and that's how you will learn. So even today I'm not sure that how successful I'm going to be in this particular journey, but I think whatever happen, I'm going to learn a lot of things from this experience, and basically it will ultimately help me in my future. Again, like you, I was also in the similar stage when I was in college. Right? I didn't knew what to do because no one was there to kind of guide me. Uh, Again, good thing you have taken a plunge. You have come here. I think what you definitely need to do is that learn from others' experience, right? Like try to figure out what's that sweet spot. By the way, startup, everyone's startup is a buzzword, right? Like everyone think that okay, I have to do startup. It's not like that doing a job is a bad thing at all, right? Like while you're working or basically working on some other company which is not your own, that is also fun, right? Like that also have a lot of learning experience. It's not like that startup is basically all rosy and you'll everyone have to do it. Not everyone have to do it. It's just that basically there are few people who want to basically do things differently, or they have certain ideas in mind which they want to implement and which they can't do in job, right? Like fine, they can kind of jump and basically do their own startup, but not everyone have to kind of basically follow that rat race that okay, startup is all the startups are going to change the world and you are going to get millions of dollars or basically crores of rupees because of that. It's not going to happen. It's not the same journey for everyone. You just hear about some successful startups, thousands of startups fail every day.
So a quick introduction about me. So I graduated in 2011 from IIT BHU. I did metallurgy, landed at Oracle, and every change in my career has a very interesting story I'll touch upon in during time. But quick introduction: I joined Oracle as a software developer. Then I wanted to move into product management role. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of what is product management. Do you know? Or raise your hand if you already know, or I'll touch upon. Okay, you don't know, that's great. Makes my life easier. Then I moved to ISB Hyderabad. I did my master's there for a year. Then I had couple of, then I joined Goldman Sachs. I didn't like the work. I moved out, stayed with couple of startups for a couple of years, worked as a product manager. Then joined Microsoft like four years ago. Yesterday was my last day there. So I'll be joining Walmart next, looking at some international business there.
So let me go back when Harsh was in his first year, right? What was your expectation? What you wanted in the college? You want to look back and talk about what all things that you did, what you like, what you didn't. एक बार first year की journey, let's try to reiterate that.
So that's interesting. That takes me back to 2007. Pretty old, yeah. But see, when we grew up, at least I came from a very small town, Dhanbad. It's in Jharkhand. And we didn't have a lot of facility, to be honest. We had like, the only source of entertainment for me was cricket, or there was a small movie hall. That's it, pretty much. Rest of the time I spent studying and then doing anything which I wanted to do. I went to, I think before I answer the first year, it's important to answer school because that's a continuation. In school, I somehow got interested in physics, chemistry, math. People told me that, hey, IIT is the thing if you like science. 11th standard was the first time someone told me there is something called IIT. I tried to crack that, could not happen. In first attempt, I lost by 1 marks in physics, but that's okay. Tried again, next year I went to PHU. So till then, my mental model or the thinking that I had was, okay, there are certain things which I like. I like physics, maths, chemistry. I liked computers back then also. But I had no other idea what I'm going to do in life. I came to some college because everyone said that, okay, you go to a college, go to IIT probably, and your life will be sorted. That's pretty much, okay. And everything was open for me basically to explore. So what I thought, and one of the things which I learned in my life is basically, there's a pattern that I saw when I was studying, that if I'm good at something, if I like something, I'm very good at it. If I don't like something, I'm the worst person.
Help us understand, as a student, because they have just got started. In a software company to the likes of Oracle, when you go and work, how is it different from the regular projects that we do in the college? Say, for example, just you mentioned in your internship, right? You had a coding project, right? How does the project that you do in the college or the internship gets different from the work that you do in the Oracle? And also, if you give a very simple words, a brief structure that how a company, IT company works, who are the people who's working there, because initially when you mentioned product manager, I think many of the people are not aware of it. If you can cite few examples that how a normal software company looks like, who are the people who work there, what is the normal hierarchy, I think that will be quite insightful for our students.
Sounds good. So start with first. basically what is the difference between a college project and working in a setup, right? Think of it like आप लोगों ने WhatsApp use किया सबने, okay? WhatsApp का the most important feature is sending a message to somebody else. I send a message to Vishwa. Building this piece is a project. Like I take a number, forget about number and everything. I type a message, send a button, it goes to someone else. That's a project. There's a lot of things that goes. Scalability, bunch of other things, performance, bunch of other things. There are a lot of edge cases that needs to be covered. What if Vishwa is offline? What happens? What if like there are multiple people I want to send a message? So basically each edge case becomes a feature and you need to take care of that. So, but in projects basically when we do, we just think about the primary use case that we have. Basically sending a message is a primary use case. In my project, I'll just build that. But when I'm building product, we need to think about all the edge cases. We need to think about performance. We need to think about if the UX is good or not. We need to think about a lot of other things like this is only about development, like testing. Like Vishwa is a better person to answer that, but I can talk more from a non-tech perspective in subsequent. But broadly, I think one of the things is this basically. That project is very simple. You build the hero scenario or whichever is the important thing. Working in a large setup has a lot of other things that comes along with it. Now, basically coming to how organization work, basically. Okay. See, it's a tricky answer, but I'll try to keep it very simple. Okay. So basically, let's take example of any business. Okay, I'll take WhatsApp only because everyone is familiar with that. Now, basically, WhatsApp has a lot of presence in a lot of places right now. So WhatsApp basically thinks they want to grow also, right? How can they grow their business? First is basically comes the strategy part or the vision. I'll say vision part. What is vision of WhatsApp? Connecting people in very simple words. Then basically, how can they connect more people? Right now, let's say WhatsApp is in 100 countries. How can they grow to 150, 200 countries? Or let's say people are using WhatsApp right now for video calls and basically text messages. Are there other things people are using to connect? Can I use maybe like something like Snapchat to connect with people? So basically, what are the opportunities for WhatsApp to grow? That's a strategy part. So a lot of leaders will focus on how we can grow this business to, let's say it is X right now, we can grow it to 2X, 3X, 10X. It can be in terms of money they are making, it can be in terms of users they already have or they want to grow. Now that strategy layer is done. The third layer is basically a roadmap. So to achieve this strategy, what are the things I need to do? For example, let's say WhatsApp says that right now our monthly active user is 1 billion. I want to move to 1.5 billion. One of our ways is basically let's expand to other geographies where we are not present. Okay, WhatsApp is not present all over the world right now. Just a bias that we see in India. So now let's say that they decide that okay, we want to penetrate in Brazil, big market, let's say. So there will be a lot of things that they need to do to make sure that they have a good product in Brazil. So that's a roadmap part. Then comes the execution part. Basically, now we have decided, okay, these are the things we need to build. Now, basically, we build it. And then, basically, we take it back and take it to users and then basically show it. That's one setup, which is a very typical software product. So, if you see, in each layer, a lot of people came in. In vision layer or strategy layer, which we spoke about, leadership come. Basically, the CXOs. Then, roadmap is basically the product managers come in or the tech leaders come in, basically. They will decide what to build and basically what to build. Then comes the execution part, which is about how to build it, which is mostly around like how developers will execute it. So all the engineering divisions that you see come there. Product division basically is around UX, around user research, marketing, product managers, a lot of people come there. Execution, engineers, testers, basically vendors, a lot of people who help you build, DevOps, basically all those people come. Then you have leaders. And then there are support functions, like there will be sales function, there will be marketing function, there will be operation function, which will work across basically to help you achieve. So that's a typical structure of any organization. But again, each organization is very different. You will see different flavors, but broadly, like this is how a tech company works. I think the first thing is basically if this problem is worth solving or not. Of probably 100 things the 100 things going in my life, only 10 are solvable. And of that, only 5 I will solve. So prioritize, I think first identify it's the problem worth solving or not. There could be different reasons you solve a problem. On those lens, basically you want to solve that problem or not. Then basically second lens is it even solvable, right or not? Okay. Once you have it, once you have these two things, I think the third thing that I look for is, and it's very generic, I'm giving a very generic gyan, okay? I mean, it's gyan dude. I don't know how do you take it, but the third thing that I will probably look at is what is the easiest way to solve this problem? That's it. I'll solve it. I mean, see, a lot of, okay, I'll tell you a classic example. I was talking to one of a person who was working with a good healthcare company. I was helping him prepare for ISB Hyderabad. Okay, he shared a failure with me, a failure story because I was helping him prepare. That hey, I was working with a company called College Dunya. Okay, and he was solving some problem, and he took the hard approach to solve the problem because he thought solving it the hard way is the cool way. But but I tell you, like a lot of, I mean, that is how we all are hardwired to. Like in from since our school, we have been told doing the hard way is the right way. Doing the hard way is the cool way. I mean, just do it the simplest way possible. Pick the path which is more certain, most easy, just do it, get done with it. That's it.